All right, welcome back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. This is the Attack the Rack Daily Lineup Show. Today is Tuesday, August 8th, 2024. It is a huge day. The Detroit Lions play tonight. Um, Here's the thing. We're recording right now due to some scheduling conflicts. We had to record kind of during the USA semifinal game versus Serbia. Towards the end of the program today, we'll talk a little bit about that. But right now, Trent, I know you're watching the game. You got the game on. How about a quick update for us?
We got Serbia 31 and the United States 23 at the end of the first quarter.
Wow, so down 8 at the end of the first quarter. Uh,
Yep. Steph Curry has 17 of our 23.
how many threes?
He has five threes.
Wow.
So he's 6 of 8 from the field, 5 of 7 from three.
Wow.
And
That's
then LeBron hit a three, and Devin Booker made a free throw, and Anthony Davis made two free throws.
okay.
So it's been the Curry show for the first quarter.
But down 8, first time USA has really trailed. Big
Yeah.
Mo, you worried?
Get Curry out of there. It's a team game.
You're crazy.
Uh,
You're crazy.
I don't know. I mean, you got to think. I mean, let's not forget, arguably the best player in the world, NBA MVP 3 of the last 4 years, is playing for Serbia with an 8-point lead with only 3 quarters to go. Trent, keep us posted on that if anything crazy happens throughout the
I
program.
can do that.
And then our last topic today, we'll get an update and we'll talk about who they will hopefully, if they end up winning, who they'll play in the semis. And we'll look at the women's Final Four tomorrow. So, but hey, like I mentioned, Detroit Lions play tonight, first preseason game. They're playing the New York Giants. First of all, Trent, is this something that interests you? I know you're a Lions fan, but do you get excited for Lions preseason or not really?
Not really, but since they fought in the conjoined practice, there should add a little juice to the game. So I'll probably tune in for that just to see if they're still a little chippy or if it's kind of washed over. So yeah, I'll probably tune in. I don't think any of the main guys are going to play,
Right.
but maybe I'll watch a couple drives and then probably turn it off.
Yeah, that was quite a brawl. There's actually been, like Big Mo mentioned on a previous episode, there's always a lot of fights in these training camp scrimmages, and
Yep.
that Lions Giants one was quite a brawl. Um, Big Mo, you gonna watch tonight?
Yeah, I'll probably tune in for a little bit. Maybe just watch the opening couple series. I mean, none of those guys who probably fought will play a whole lot, right? So,
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. They went after Amon Ra the first time,
yeah.
and
So,
then some other
but,
DB the second time.
yeah. But, yeah, it's always good to get a little glimpse of some of the backups and some of the backups.
Yeah. Who's the quarterback that we drafted? I forget his name.
From Tennessee. Or,
Yeah, Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, is he playing?
He might still be recovered from an injury. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it would be nice if he's healthy. It'd be nice to see him play.
Yeah, at least see what we used a draft pick on at least.
Yeah. I mean, arguably he's up next, right? I mean, how much longer has Jared Goff got? He's not that old, but obviously if you draft a Hendon Hooker, that high in the draft, you're probably thinking this is our future.
I think he's good, yeah.
Okay. That's
But
right.
I don't know if he's not sure if he's playing.
I think the quarterback tonight is Sudfield. At least, I mean, he's back up to Jared. I'm sure we won't see Jared tonight at all.
Okay.
And then it's Hooker, but I don't know if Hooker is healthy.
Well, what do you guys think? I mean, obviously the Lions had it's a phenomenal season last year, second half of the season prior, phenomenal. Made it to the NFC Championship game where they blew that 17-point halftime lead to the 49ers. What do you think? What do you think this year? Can we make it back to the NFC Championship? Can we take that next step to get to the Super Bowl? Can we win the Super Bowl? Big Mo, let's start with you.
I think they win the. I mean, I think they win the NFC.
Who do you
So
think
I
the
think-
toughest competition is? Will it be San Francisco again? I mean, who's really gotten better?
Um,
Packers.
yeah, I mean, I think the Packers are going to be tough. I do. I just think we improved in areas that we weren't good in. So, in theory, we should be better. And I would think that, um, yeah, I think they've got the right plan in place. I think they got the right people.
I do
So,
too.
barring a huge injury, um, I think they win the NFC.
Yeah, Trent, what do you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
I almost have Super Bowl expectations this year. I don't know. It's good to see them be successful finally. Um, it's been a while, but yeah, I think
Oh, you know.
they got the best offensive line in football, so that helps.
Yep.
Obviously, they need to stay healthy. I think Jameson Williams needs to have a big year as well. I think he needs to have a really good year to be successful and kind of get them over the hump. But yeah, I'm expecting Super Bowl out of them this year.
Yeah, and then obviously they're loaded at running back.
Yep.
Dave Montgomery, I think right now is projected to be the starter, but I mean they obviously share carries. Jameer Gibbs is phenomenal.
Yeah.
They have addressed some of the defensive issues. That still does make me a little bit nervous. They were horrible against the rush last year, even though it's misleading. If I think they were fourth in rush defense, but if you look at the number of carries, they had significantly less carries against them as well. So that's a little bit misleading. But I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, you guys watched every game. It seemed like they need to fix some rush defense.
Yeah.
So
I
sounds
think
like
adding that big fella in the middle, Reader, I think that'll clog some stuff up, open more stuff up for Aiden to get
Okay.
off the edge.
yeah.
Yeah. And
I don't even.
I think their coverage will be better. So now you can commit to the run a little bit more. Where I think last year they had to commit so many people to the secondary sometimes.
Yeah.
It was like gashing at times. So I think they'll be able to just I think it'll be a better mix up, better so then you can do both instead of kind of like trying to cover one area up, you can kind of control both areas.
Yeah, and then Jared Goff, I think he's good enough. Is he a superstar? No, but statistically, again, the last year and a half, there's been very few better than him. He doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. He's just solid, which is, when you've got the weapons we have, and we have the offensive line that they have, he doesn't need to force anything. He'll have time. Um, I think he is good enough. Trent, what do you think about Jared Goff? Can he be the one that can lead us? He has been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is he good enough for the Lions to win a Super Bowl?
I think so. Yeah, it's not always the prettiest with him, but I feel like he's super good in all these other aspects of football that kind of make him a great quarterback. And he doesn't throw it the farthest or the hardest. He's not the most mobile guy in the world, but he can escape some stuff. As long as he's just not throwing a ton of picks, that's going to be the kicker. If he throws a ton of interceptions this year, then we'll be in a little bit of trouble. But hopefully, the run game will be solid enough to at least score a couple times a game with Montgomery and Gibbs. So it might make his job a little bit easier. But yeah, I think he can. I think he can bring home a Super Bowl. Man, that parade would be wild, wouldn't it?
Oh,
We might have to go to that. We might
yeah,
have to take
I think there's going to be
trip.
two or three games where golf has to just demonstrate a little more like has to make the play.
Yeah.
I feel like last year there were just a couple times where it's like, oh, you're just like, why throw that one, or
Yeah.
be a little tougher, or hang in there for an extra half second. And I think that's a small separation between being really good Super Bowl or kind of being like, hey, still pretty good for where the Lions have been.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Goff can find a way to win some of those key moments.
Yep. Well, hey, if the Lions win the Super Bowl, we may have to make an Attack the Rack field trip to the parade, fellas.
I'm down.
Ooh.
Staying in the realm of football, it is we are also approaching fantasy football season in the next few weeks here, 2-3 weeks. Most fantasy football drafts will occur. I would like to take this moment here to plug. We do have a fantasy football preview show coming on the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. That will be with our Attack the Rack fantasy football guru, Corey Walters, who obviously you guys both know. He is a fantasy football junkie, and he's going to provide us some useful information as we prepare for our fantasy football drafts. We're going to talk quarterbacks, we're going to talk running backs, we're going to talk wide receivers, and we're going to talk tight ends. Each of those will be released as a separate video over the course of the next week and a half. Look for, I'm hoping to get quarterbacks out already tomorrow. But we're recording that all tonight, so we'll see time-wise, but the goal is to have quarterbacks released tomorrow night. Big Mo, not a huge fantasy football guy. I know you used to be. Is it just kind of a time management thing for you?
It is a time management thing, but hey, Trent, can we get an update because the
We're getting
USA
run out
team is in trouble?
Yeah, we're getting run out the gym.
Really?
Yeah, we're down 42-27.
No way. 15 points. Woo!
Yep. It looks like there's not a lot of help out there for Curry today.
Someone's got to step up.
They are broke.
Wow.
It's weird though. They haven't took a ton of shots. I wonder how many turnovers they have. Only 3 turnovers. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. They better pick it up a little bit, or they're gonna be a very disappointed country at our basketball team.
How much time's left? Because we'll
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
all right. So
Yeah.
that'll be our last topic here. After we talk some fantasy football, we'll spend some time talking about what's going on, the latest with the game. But as I was saying, Big Mo, you used to play some fantasy football, haven't really the last few years, more of a time management thing, or
Yeah, just I choose to do a lot of different things, so trying to stay up to date with everything and injuries and usually I'll do a couple drafts on like an ESPN
and just see how it
and
happens.
then just kind of like roll with it a little bit and just have but really not pay attention.
One thing you
Yeah.
might be interested in, and I know Corey does a lot of these, like 20, 30 of these. It's something new within the last few years. Best ball, they call it. So
Oh.
basically, you just draft your team, you draft X amount of players, and then that's just what you got. So it's not managing it every week. I think if one of your starters gets injured, it just automatically pops up the next guy, maybe.
Hmm.
Oh, no. This is how it works. You draft X amount of players. So you draft multiple players at each position. And then each week it takes the highest. I'm not sure if it's a 1 quarterback or a 2 quarterback league, but whichever of your, let's just say it's a 1 quarterback league, whichever quarterback on your team has the highest amount of points, that's who ends up being your quarterback. Whichever 2 running backs score the most, those are your running backs for that
Oh,
week.
that's cool.
So you don't have to do any trades. You don't have to do any waiver wire. You don't have to worry about injuries. It just does it all for you. So I think you can do a lot of those on the sports betting apps. So maybe that might be something up your alley. Since you do like doing the drafts, it's just everything else you got to do the rest of the
Going
season.
out there.
You don't even got to worry about.
We'll take a peek at that, but I probably still be like, I just like to sit back and watch those games. They're always entertaining.
Yeah. Sometimes you like to maybe place a bet more based on an individual game line, that kind of stuff. Which I think a lot of, I think there's actually as popular as fantasy football is, and most people play it. There are some that really don't like it, and they'd rather just bet on, individual games. But Trent, what's your fantasy football life like?
No, I've been historically bad at fantasy football. I don't know why. I feel like I would be someone who'd be okay at fantasy football, but the times I've done it, I've always been just not good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Maybe I just draft wrong, or maybe my strategy wasn't the right strategy, but I feel like there is a little strategy to drafting, and it's hard to stay up to date with some of like the really good players on the teams I don't pay attention to, and those guys end up doing really well. And I'll just pick like, oh, I know this guy, so I'll just draft him, and then he just stinks for some reason.
Yeah,
But
and you got to look at matchups. Like you know, usually you'll probably have your, you know who one of your running backs will be, and then for your second running back, you got to spend time and look at, well, who are they playing? How's that rush defense? You know, it can be, if you really want to be successful, you do need to put in a lot of time, and then there's obviously luck involved too.
yeah,
Um, you know, I have been part of a league since the same league since 1996. So we're talking what, 27, 28 years.
it's impressive.
I have never won.
Somebody's old.
Never won.
Never won. I'm the only person in the league that's never won.
Yeah, you tied though once.
So, oh, crazy story.
Yeah,
You
kind
tied.
of, kind of a.
So let me see if I can
I'm not
remember.
sure you want to share this, Kurt.
It was about 10 years ago. And what ended up happening was I had won the championship game. Well, then on Thursday, when the NFL adjusts some of the statistics, it's rare, but sometimes they go back and they have to make a statistical adjustment. And there was a statistical adjustment that now made me not win my game, but now tie my game, my championship.
Oh,
So
they
now
like took away a yard from your guy or something.
I think it was I think it had something to do with a fumble recovery for my defense or something.
Okay.
But that wouldn't make sense because I don't know how you could reverse that. Whatever it was, by taking away those points, now our championship game was tied. Well, our tiebreaker, so let me try to explain this as quick and easy as I can. For example, with like receiving yards, if you get 50 receiving yards, you get 8 points, and then every 10 yards after that adds a point. Okay.
Yep.
So let's say I had 82 receiving yards. That would be 8, 9, 10. It'd be 11 points. Okay. Well, to break the tie, we moved the decimals. So now that 82, which was 11, now becomes 11.2 to break the tie. So you will go through every yard statistic, and now instead of it being an even number, so like I'm saying, you know, 82 yards would be 11 points.
Mm-hmm.
But now to break the tie, you actually look at that too, and so it's 11.2. And so after going through all the stats and implementing the tiebreaker to include the decimals, I ended up losing by 0.4.
Oh,
So I went from winning to a statistical adjustment to tying to then having to go to this tiebreak. That made me lose by 0.4 of a point.
that seems wrong.
So, but no, we got our draft coming up. We always do it the Friday night of Labor Day weekend. So that'll be coming up on August 30. Looking forward to it. Usually not everybody in our league lives in the area anymore. We have 10 guys in the league, but we usually get probably about 8 of them actually all in the same place.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. So
That-
so definitely looking forward to that. And then obviously certainly looking forward to the Corey Walters Attack the Rack Fantasy Football Guru preview stuff coming up here on the Attack the Rack YouTube channel.
Do you have one player that you really want this year?
Well, our league, the way our scoring system is, it's very, very much heavy quarterbacks, which is kind of rare.
Okay.
Most fantasy football leagues are, you know, you want to get running backs.
So you'll be choosing Jared Goff.
No.
1,000
So
rushing yards.
we also have some wet. So here's the thing. Our scoring system came from Terry Bradshaw Fantasy Football in 1996. And we've stayed with that scoring system for the most part, we made some adjustments here, there throughout the years. But it's a really kind of a unique scoring system where it's not just you get 6 points for a touchdown, but you get bonus points depending on how far the touchdown was. And if you're a quarterback and you get a rushing touchdown or a receiving touchdown, it's double the points.
Oh,
Or if you're a running back and you get a receiving touchdown, or for some crazy reason you throw a touchdown, double points. Receiver,
Okay.
tight end, rushing touchdown, or passing, double the points. So somebody, a rushing quarterback who gets some rushing touchdowns is even that much more valuable.
so the tush push would be
Yes. So
A
if you're
bunch
on
of
the
points.
goal line, a normal goal line touchdown, would be 6 points. But if you're a quarterback that's rushing it in, it's double the points. You get 12 for that, even if it's
Okay.
a little 1-inch run. So in our league, quarterbacks are definitely definitely the key. So certainly Patrick Mahomes, he's usually one of the top guys. We do an auction draft. We've been doing an auction draft now the last few years. So he's been the one Patrick Mahomes has been the one that's been going for the most amount of money the last few years.
Okay. How much do you start with, I guess? Do you get like a certain cap?
Yeah, 200.
Okay.
200 fake dollars. So,
Mhm.
Patrick Mahomes usually goes the last few years has gone for like 70.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's how valuable someone like him is in our league based on our scoring system.
Okay.
That you're literally willing to spend a third of your points or a third of
Yeah.
your money on Patrick Mahomes.
It's too
Very
bad
sad.
that the Bills aren't going to be very good this year because Josh Allen's kind of similar in that way. He'll
Yep.
just take off sometimes.
Oh, he's been
Get
pretty
some
good in our
big
league for sure. I could see maybe Lamar Jackson Lamar kind of added a little bit better of a passing game last year. I could see Lamar.
He's in a little better shape this year, looking a little thinner.
Yeah.
I
So
bet he has kind of an MVP type year. I really,
yeah. And his just based on how his stats stack up, he's pretty valuable in a league like ours. So
I could see a little Lions Ravens Super Bowl.
yeah, definitely.
I would hate that.
Well, I think we're going to be better defensively, so he's just not going to be able to run through us like he did the last couple
Oh,
of
Yeah,
years.
he crushed the Lions last year.
Yeah.
Just chased him around the field.
Yeah.
He looked like Bo Jackson on Tecmo Bowl.
We're going to be better, but I could see that could be a Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah.
We look back to this show. I'll call it.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way,
Maybe,
Kurt, I was going to say maybe you need a general manager to help you try to win one of these things.
Not me. There's
30 years of mediocrity. You're sounding like the Lions.
Oh yeah. For a while there, I was considered the Buffalo Bills of the league because for a while there I was making the championship game, but I could never win it. And then I just went into this horrible stretch of years of not even making the playoffs.
Yeah. So it's Kurt Levy, huh?
Yeah.
Do you guys do last place punishments and stuff or no?
No, but it's something that I've been kind of itching to maybe introduce to the league. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a little like Speedo challenge.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Speedo beer mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that would be an awesome idea. Yeah. So, but I love it. It's fun. It makes you kind of want to watch other games that maybe you wouldn't necessarily want to watch.
Well, Kurt, you're doing it with friends for you've been friends with them for 30 years.
Well, some of them since the day I was born, because
Yeah, pretty close.
2 of them are family. So
I mean, that's longer than Trent's been alive.
I know. That's true.
Yep.
What
Right on the dot.
What year were you born, Trent? 96?
93.
93. 93. Holy cats, Trent. You're young. All right. Well, let's get out of here with a little bit of USA men's basketball update. What do we got? We got
LeBron's pissed, so that's a good sign.
Go.
We're down 12.
14.
down 12. LeBron just got an and one.
Okay.
Still not a whole lot of support going on from the bench.
What do you? I got 20 seconds left here, Trent. Where are you at?
I got 7 seconds left.
Okay. Okay.
All right, going into the half. So
Yeah, so our bench has scored 4 points.
wow.
Anthony Davis has 2 and Anthony Edwards has 2. Other than that, nothing.
LeBron just gave him the too small. The too small can't guard me.
Yeah, he's the shoulder shrug.
Oh, I thought you meant
No, he did. He did give him the too small.
okay. Well, while these last few seconds tick off the clock, if the U.S. does come back and win, and if they don't, it will be Serbia playing for the gold medal up against France. That would be kind of fun to watch. France has Wemby, right? Wembanyama, and a couple other guys too, right?
Evan Fournier, whatever his name is.
The guy that just got drafted, the number 1 pick, is he on their team?
Oh, I don't know. It's a good question.
They got Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert.
Rudy
Player of
Gobert.
the year, right? Was he defensive player of the year or 6th man of the year?
I think last year he was defensive player, wasn't he?
Yeah, defensive player of the year.
I just remember him during COVID when he was on the press conference and he's like touching all the mics and stuff.
He got it. Oh man. So, and then what did we say the other semifinal game was?
For women's?
Or no, I'm sorry, yeah. So for women, sorry, yeah. So the U.S. women in their Final Four, their semifinal matchup, they play Australia, and then the other semifinal game is France and Belgium.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
So those games will be played tomorrow. Don't forget, B-Girl breaking tomorrow. And
It is they don't know the music that is going to be played.
Okay, good.
I watched a little
All right.
announcement of it today, so it's not choreographed at all. They don't know the music that's coming.
Good.
All
right.
That should be just up your alley, Kurt.
And then the B-Boys on Saturday. When you were watching or listening to whatever you were doing or were watching or listening to, did they mention, does the U.S. have like maybe a favorite or?
I didn't see hear anything about the favorites or who is any background. So maybe you can do some research on that, and we can.
I mean, certainly break dancing started here in the U.S. in New York City, in the Bronx, to be even more specific. But I do know it's big over in Europe too. So just because the U.S. was the originator in the Bronx does not necessarily mean that U.S. should walk away with gold medals here. I wouldn't think.
Well, I'm sure they. They're not going to walk away with anything, but they may break away with something.
I see our women's ping pong team won gold.
Good.
Whoa,
they earned it.
I didn't know that was our kind of sport, but that's
ping pong.
Pretty sweet.
Ping pong.
Oh, wow. I think so. Yeah, women's ping pong.
Wow.
Good for them.
It looked like it was a bunch of Chinese women that were on our ping pong team.
So. Probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we got for a halftime score?
We're down 11.
Down 11 at the half. All right. Hopefully we come back. Hopefully when we get back on here on Tuesday, we'll be talking about both the men's team and the women's team taking hold of the gold. Anything else, guys?
Nope, I don't think so.
All right. Well, try to enjoy some Detroit Lions football tonight the best you can. It's just preseason, so there's no pressure. No need to be stressed. Just sit back and enjoy.
I remember I was always so happy that we were always like these preseason champs because we would never lose in preseason.
Yeah, I know.
We got like Super Bowl aspirations now, so it changed pretty quickly.
Yeah, you don't have to win these. You don't have to win these games, guys. We don't have to win them.
All right. Well, hey, if you guys don't got anything else, let's what's today? Thursday. So we are now on our 4-day break enjoy your weekends.
Another week in the books.
Another week in the books. We've got, like I said, some fantasy football. Hopefully, quarterback preview coming tomorrow. Probably do running backs on Sunday. Don't forget Saturday morning, 9 a.m. The Attack the Rack podcast with Big Mo and myself. And then Monday morning live, 7 a.m. I'll be going live, recapping the weekend in sports. And then we will be back with the daily lineup show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Can you have Corey do a segment on kickers?
Well, I got to be honest. The texting that we're doing back and forth. I think he's a little bit nervous, and he wants to make sure he's prepared enough. So if I suddenly throw that wrinkle at him, I'm worried he's gonna say, "Hey, never mind. I don't want to do it."
Yeah. All right. No kickers.
All right, guys. We'll see you Tuesday.